Where all books are acquired, I'm holding the book right here that you should all get. The Last Enforcer, Outrageous Stories from the Life and Times of One of the NBA's Fiercest Competitors, and that's a fact, written with Frank Isola, the great Charles Oakley, here in person on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Congrats on the book.
Thank you.
I have been waiting and patiently to talk to you for quite some time, sir.
Wow, I'm ready.
This is a fact.
Thanks.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, so I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Okay.
Born in Brooklyn, raised in Staten Island.
Okay.
You, sir, are one of my favorite New York Knicks of all time.
Thank you. I'm glad I can be here.
Fact.
Glad we can be in person.
The fact I can sit here and tell you, like the kid from the 80s and the 90s and whatever, that I can look you in the face and say thank you.
Thank you.
Means, honestly, I'm getting like emotional here. Because what you did with Patrick and the rest of the Knicks, you with Riley and with that was incredible, and it was a long time coming for a bunch of Knicks fans.
Yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't win the big one, but we competed every night and showed a lot of heart out there.
Yeah, I know. And so I guess at the time when you were going through it, what was that like to be there with Patrick and Riley in the Garden, and it was all lit up? What was that like for you?
I mean, when I first got there, we wasn't great, but once we made the transaction, we got Pat Riley there with a whole different mindset. This guy won championships with LA with Kareem Magic. He had an identity, and he brought some of LA with him, and he mixed it with New York. It's toughness, and we got it down good as we could, and. We showed a good product on the court every night. You
sure did. And just the sense at the time, too. I mean, you came from Chicago.
Right.
And you did your work with Jordan and against the bad boys. And the Knicks needed, to be very honest, they needed somebody to put somebody on their ass. Yeah, and that was your job, pretty much, right?
Well, they called for the doctor. I showed up, so...
And another name I didn't.
I came there. Like I said, when you move to another house, make sure it's better than the last one. So when I got traded from Chicago to New York, I tried to make sure I played better in New York than just did Chicago. Let them know that they gave it a good piece. But no, New York was a great experience for me. It was the big city, and name it twice, New York, New York.
That's right.
I had a lot of fun there.
Well, I mean, it was so much fun watching you. And then, before we get deeper into that, you got the foreword of your book written by Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
What was it like for a rookie out of Virginia Union to show up there in Chicago? Jordan already did what he had done in his rookie season. What was that like to be there? Stan Albeck being a coach and
well, basically my job was to come in and thanks to Jerry Krause for drafting me in the top 10, number one, and show him that he made a great choice. Come in understanding that he did a good job scouting me and knew my strength and weakness. I knew my strength and weakness. And so when I brought him to the court, I stayed with him myself. I didn't try to come out and compete, score many points Michael Jordan. The next guy, I knew that, hey, be humble. You play the game, stuff come to you when you understand the game.
Why didn't it work out in Chicago with Jordan?
With me?
When you were there, yeah.
I ain't said it didn't work out. They had a lot of forwards, and they drafted Horace and Scottie, and they didn't have a center. And they made the transition, traded me for Bill Cartwright. It worked out. I had a great 3 years. Probably my, not saying my best, but I was up there with, double-digit points, scoring, rebound.
I guess worked out is an unfortunate way of me to put it, and I apologize. I mean, the championship years, they occurred, obviously. Well,
they won 3 years after I left. So my thing is, I thought when I got traded to New York, I'm going with Boston University from Georgetown, this and that. That wasn't the case. It was Patrick Ewing's body, but he left a lot of his soul at Georgetown.
What's your relationship with Jordan like right now?
Me?
Yeah.
On the forward, I guess it showed that, he did the forward, something you probably would never guess. He didn't have a copy of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So that showed you a lot of respect for me, and knowing that knowing been around him, the longer I've been around him, we've been tight. Close friend for so trust me. So when somebody trusts you, sometimes by him doing that, just show me he really, really trusts me and love me. Because I think if he really did the forward for Scottie book, he might have been upset with himself.
I was going to ask you, did you reach out to Scottie on how to sell a book? Did you reach out to him at all?
Well, I guess they said when you aim high, so he went for the GOAT.
What'd you think of what he had to say about
everybody got
that?
an opinion, but
What's your opinion?
if you go by stats and to go by your body work, his body work don't compare to the top 20 player who play basketball. So it's hard to say he's better than Michael Jordan to me, but that's his opinion.
Mm-hmm. What about everything else he was saying about what was the times in Chicago, about anything that was going on there? Obviously, you weren't there when he was there with Chicago and he was talking about the book, but
Scottie?
Yes, they're talking about racist and Phil being racist and things like that.
You don't know who racist these days because it's what's the meter? It said hot or cold. It don't say racist. I don't know. I don't look at it, but if you see someone racist, you have to be really detailed, paying attention to every second of the day what they're doing. So I don't know. I was there 1 year with Phil. I mean, he was coming from the G League. Was it during the D League? What the league was?
Yeah, he was the assistant, right?
Assistant, right? He came up. Jerry Krause handpicked him. He came up with Doug Collins, and he was just assistant coach. Tex was there, Doug was there, and he was a quiet guy. I did some little research on him. He played with the Knicks, and he was an upcoming coach. Jerry, Jerry hit a lot of home runs in that little era he had with the Bulls. He made a lot of things happen in a good way. They won 6 rings, but they don't want to talk Jerry up. Jerry not here to really bounce some of the stuff back to him that people saying about Jerry. I thought Jerry was a nice guy. He drafted me, so I have nothing. He traded me, he drafted me, so I guess I still have nothing bad to say about him. But he get a lot of bad rap from people. They say he wanted a lot of credit. I mean, my thing is Jerry put the team together. Jerry Reinsdorf paid the team, mates. So when Scottie contract and Michael Jordan contract came up, it went up to Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner. And he was a little tight. He got one pocket and one pair of pants, so he's kind of tight.
Charles Oakley here on the Rich Eisen Show. The Last Enforcer. Check it out where all books are sold. Okay. I used to be a Knicks fan. Okay. I stopped being a Knicks fan that night where you were taken out of Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
I can't root for that team anymore.
Yeah.
And I was so angry.
Yeah.
So angry to see you taken out by Madison Square Garden security. What the hell happened that night?
It was a hit. That's all I can say. I was there for maybe 7 minutes. I got there with me and 3 other guys. We walked down the steps, and I went to the Thurman Munson Foundation dinner the night before.
Okay.
So I did that 3 or 4 times, And the guy said, "You going to the game?" I said, "No." He said, "We got extra tickets." I said, "I go with y'all." So I met him across the street from the Garden. We come in down the steps. I sit down. The girl come ask me what you want to drink. I said, "I want a Pepsi and some popcorns." By the time she bring them back, in 2 minutes, I was there about 8 minutes, and then next thing I know, it's 8 guys surrounding me. Like, "You got to leave." I'm like, "For what?" "I have a ticket. You got to leave." And I said, "No, I'm not leaving." Then they started grabbing on me. I said, "Don't grab on me." And I said, "If you watch it, you can hear it all loud and clear." And next thing, one thing happened. I slipped down and fell, and a few more guys came, and they took me in the back, and next thing I know, down there, they put the handcuffs on me.
Handcuffed you?
Handcuffs.
So then, okay, before we get to that, so at any point in time, when they came to grab you and took you, did Dolan ever, James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, did he ever look in your direction? Did
he was looking back. He
saw what was going on.
It was a hit. Because
why?
We watched the tape. I don't know. Because I don't dance to his music. He I like Rick James. He like Fly the Simon Stone. I like Luther. He like Patti LaBelle. But my thing was,
well, he likes JD in the Straight Shot. Actually, that's
man, they throw cans at them. But no, so we watched the tape, and you can see like it was a timeout or something. The security guard go over there and talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
So after the timeout, he go back to his station.
Mm-hmm.
Then something else happened. A dead ball foul. He walk over there and talk to him again.
Security guard talked to him again.
Security guard. So he go back to stand behind the bench. Then you can see him in the tape we got. he giving the guy a signal. He's like, go. I mean, he's like,
go get him.
Yeah,
go speak to him or what have you. Like, why does he want you out of there? Like, what?
I don't know. He don't like me because he said I said something in the paper, but he's trying to tell in the court that I hollered at him. I'm like, John McEnroe sitting right here. If you go, how am I hollering at you in 20,000 people? I ain't like I came to the game early, walked past and said, hey, big head. No, I come in, went straight to my seat. And he just got it out for me. So after that happened, so basically they take me downstairs, put the cuffs on, I go to the precinct, this and that happened. Here come Phil Jackson. Oh, what happened? What happened? Ask your boss. Then World West come, like, I got MJ on the phone. I said, I'm handcuffed. I mean, put him on speaker. So.
Hold on a second. So, all right. Phil Jackson went to the police precinct?
No, he came from a seat to the
back of the arena where you are now being held in handcuffs in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And he's like, and so what happened next?
He like, what's going on? I said, ask your boss. And then World Wide West comes like, I got Michael Jordan on the phone. I said, I'm handcuffed. I said, put him on speaker. You know, it was just funny the way I said it, but so then they, I said, get these damn handcuffs off me. I just started cussing, and then next thing you know, they put me taking me across the street. So I get there, they take the handcuffs off, and they like, what happened? I said, it's just a crazy incident. They said, you want something to eat? They ordered me a pizza. So I went back to the cell. I went in the cell.
You were in a cell that night?
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that, but I can't. How did Jordan get on the phone?
World West had called him and Phil, so I guess.
So what did Jordan say?
I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I tell him, I said something funny. I said, tell him to come and get me. I'm like, well, I'm gonna talk. I ain't no talk. Come and get me. So about 12:30, 1 o'clock, they let me out. Two guys from Long Island I know. He was a cop. Another guy, like a guy from the hedge fund group. He came and got me out, and I did an interview that night. It was just crazy. I mean, my thing is, I had never met him before. His dad, I met his. They from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland.
Dolan,
yes.
The family.
They grew up like 5 minutes from me in Cleveland. So.
Well, in your book, there's an account about you and Dolan during an NBA All-Star Weekend in New Orleans prior. Is that where that's from? This might be
I ain't
from?
from because so we in New Orleans. I think it's 2014, 2014, yeah. 2014, we in New Orleans. I'm with LeBron, Maverick, the whole crew, because they from Cleveland. And we were just in that room, just messing around. So here come World Wide West. He walked from out the back. You know, something happened with the click, like Rich Paul and West. Rich Paul's from Cleveland. So something had happened. So he don't speak to West at all. So LeBron being a pro, he'd speak to him, Maverick, whatever. So he said, "Oh, I'm back there with." I said, "I'm in the back with the guy from Knicks." I said, "Who?" He said, "I'm with the owner. Come and meet him." I said, "Okay." So me and my friend Jacob, we walk in the back.
This is James Dolan,
the owner.
And you had never met him before?
Never met him.
This is just before in New Orleans, huh?
I never met him because when I was there, the dad was in charge.
Right. Okay.
So I'm walking back with Wes. He said, Mr. Dolan, this is Mr. Oakley. He said, I met him. This is like me sitting, he don't turn around or nothing. I met him. And then this and that. So I'm like, Wes, what's going on? He said, he met you. His man ain't met me. So my mind was, should I hit him in the head? Swear to God. Should I hit him in the head? I mean, so I'm like, man, you brought me back here. He said he met you. He ain't meet me, man. I mean, what am I lying about if I met him? Like, won't he just be a gentleman anyway? He just said up, how you doing, Mr. Oakley? And so my guy with me, like, man, he's kind of rude, ain't it? I said, yeah. He don't like me. So it's just I don't know. Small man complex. I don't know what his problem is, but he do the same thing over and over to people. I mean, as you check his record out, he got a lot of incidents on it by dealing with. He don't deal with people good.
Well, Charles Oakley, I saw this and I'm like, I can't root for this team anymore. I can't. I just can't.
I can see by what it is. I mean, I wouldn't even. I was sitting behind him. I can see by walk in front of him. So you big head or either just you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't like 4 rows. Then he tells some I was sitting too close to him. Somebody said, "You knew what you was." No, I didn't. I didn't know where the guys had the tickets at. I mean, I've been to many games and bought tickets and sit 3 or 4 rows, but I don't know. He just had it out for me.
It shouldn't matter. You're Charles Oakley. You're Charles Oakley. You were part of one of the greatest times in the history of the New York Knicks.
Yeah, but
and and the owner of the New York Knicks should welcome you. Is it because you were critical of him and the team vocally?
The team ain't did nothing. I mean, he's a control freak. He's a real big control freak. So, basically, like guys who work for him, they can't do interviews with people besides they have to know what the questions is. It's just a control thing. He's real controlling.
You have no idea, Charles. I mean, you guys could tell him, right? Like, there's something here called the Dolan wormhole, okay? It's like the gravitational force in the universe. Anytime this man's name comes up, I get pulled right in. I get so livid and
he
so
starts
angry.
to shake.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, I can see, like, if I would have said, I would have manned up. I would have told everybody came to my rescue. But if I was wrong, I would stood up in Times Square, somewhere in Central Park, and just had a press conference like, hey, I was wrong. I said something to this guy. I ain't said nothing to him. That's what make it so bad. You know, he just had it out for me.
So what's the future? Is there anyone?
This is what happened after that. About a week later. So Michael Jordan, commissioned, myself. So we got together. Oh, I'll retire your jersey. Come, we played Indiana about 2 weeks. You can come sit beside me. I'm like, no, this is what I'm gonna have. So they had a bowling event this night. He said, well, you can walk in the bowling with me and make everybody see us together. I'm like, you see what just happened? My family seen this, and you handcuffs, and you treat me like a runaway, whatever, back in the old days, and you want me to come sit beside you? Hey, then he went from that to, like, in 2 weeks, we play the Pacers, you can come, we have everything, red carpet. I'm like, you showing you guilty right there. Why you want to do all this for me now if you ain't, if you're not wrong?
So there is no future there.
Huh?
There's no future there. There's no.
I don't know. I'm waiting to see. Yeah, but
What did Ewing have to say about all this?
Well, that happened 2017. He just said something about 5 months ago. Nothing. I played with him 10 years. I had his back. They offered him a D-League job about 7 years ago. I spoke. How you gonna offer a guy who played for you 15 years a D-League job? But that hurt me when he didn't speak up for me. I mean, if I know somebody play, especially in sports, you can play 10 years with somebody. You should be able to know them and know what they stand for. And he didn't do that. He didn't put his big boy pants on.
Charles Oakley here on the Rich Eisen Show. Some other aspects of this book to hit here. You knew that LeBron was going to Cleveland, was going to leave Cleveland and go to Miami before his thing?
Yep. A year before.
How'd you know that?
That season before he went, going to that season, they played Orlando and then went to Miami. It was like a back-to-back game. So I was from Cleveland, so I told him I was going to be in Miami. He said, come hang out. Orlando. He said, come hang out. We going to dinner that night. We went to the steakhouse. We were just talking, having fun, this and that. He said, man, I'm going to Miami next year. I said, really? He said, yep. So the next day we go to the game, Orlando. I was driving, so they flew to Miami after the game. So I drove the next day, and I told Pat Riley I was coming to the game. He left me 2 tickets. I said, I need to talk to you about something. He said, all right, we go to my office at halftime and talk, So he went in there, I said, I don't know if you know or not, somebody think about coming here. He said, really? He said, who? I said, well, you might be playing against him tonight. Matter of fact, you are. He said, well, no, okay. Pat Riley. So one thing led to another. The next summer, in Miami.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can respond to that. So, all right. So you gave Riley a little heads up that this, because
I told him. I told LeBron. I told him.
Okay. And how much longer do you think LeBron's going to play?
I don't know.
What's your prediction
I don't know if
here?
it'll be for the Lakers or somebody else. They don't get this situation straightened out with basketball, out here now. It's just the Clippers bad, they bad. You can't be bad with LeBron on your team. That's what Cleveland had LeBron. They were never bad. you know, he just every time he went to Miami, came back to Cleveland, he made a difference. They was only winning 25, 26 games. He take them from 25 to 50, 55. It's just I don't know why the nigga ain't moving here. Something is holding him back because they keep saying he needs shooters on the outside, but it's more than shooting. Energy, the rotation. I mean, they got too many guys just looking at the rim.
Well, Anthony Davis has got to get healthy, right?
Yeah, but Anthony Davis, he ain't been Anthony Davis since the bubble. I mean, they won the championship with him. He's one of them guys that he looks so pretty playing, but he stay hurt. A Bentley with no gas and you can't run it.
So you think he's thinking again of departing? I mean, what's your two cents on that?
He ain't gonna settle for this losing. And who they have to trade beside Anthony Davis? I mean, can't trade Westbrook and get nothing unless you can trade Westbrook to get defense maybe, and just limit the guys who on your offense. Because I mean, everybody you see that they need the ball, and that's. I mean, you got almost 4 Hall of Famers on that team, and they losing, barely beating bad teams. You still had 3 Hall of Fame started: Dwight Howard, Westbrook, and LeBron. And Carmelo come off the bench. That's 4.
So, but he's going to play till I guess his son comes in here, right? I mean, isn't that the goal?
He probably will. I mean, if he can't move the needle past 500, I don't. I mean, another year of this, I don't see that. I mean, he might not. He might try to hold on, but. He don't want to just be out there playing just as I play 80, 75 games and go home. His goal is to win a championship.
Before I let you go, who's the guy today that mirrors your game the most, would you say, Charles Oakley? Who would be that guy?
Person. But thank you. That role is not in the NBA right now no more. I don't see that. Draymond was a point forward, set picks, make stuff, and Clay look great every night, and doing the hustle stuff. Maybe, Draymond maybe just a better ball handler, but overall just with the force or shutting down the paint. I mean, Draymond do check centers at 6'7", centers be 6'10", and get away with it. He do a lot of fouling. They don't. Golden State is like what the Boston used to be. They let you get away with other stuff. Some teams don't get away with. When you start winning, you get that with winning. And sometimes, like these teams who used to win and think they get, you ain't getting called. Westbrook, you're not getting called. Just take your time and go make your layup. That's how it is now.
Who would you relish if you were back in the NBA right now, Charles? Who would you relish putting on his ass the most if you were back in the league right now? Who would you relish? Would say like I would suit up just one more time just to put him on his ass.
It's like a freeway now. Everybody going down the paint.
I know that. But if you were standing there, like you would say, I'd like to put that guy on his ass right now.
So basing this in a question like that, it's somebody who cry a lot. So guys I see cry a lot who got the ball in their hands a lot. James Harden flop a lot. And he's a big body, but I would, he goes to the hole like it ain't nothing. But see now he from the West Coast to the East, he's not getting them bailouts no more in the East like he got in the West. So he's not playing that well. It's a different. I tell everybody in the past, it's a different playing in the East and playing in the West. Most guys can play in the West, can't play in the East. And so. But really, it's just like I said, it's like a freeway. You like get your easy pass, going through.
The easy pass. I love that. All right, Charles, this is great. I literally could talk to you for like 2 hours. Congrats on the book.
Thank you.
And let's do this more often. I'd love to. I really would love it. And one other guy whose name I didn't bring up is Anthony Mason. May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I mean,
that's my guy.
Right?
That's my guy. We did a lot together in New York. We was the Blues Brothers, the real Blues. There's some other Blues brothers. They fake them, but we were the real Blues Brothers. We did a lot together. I mean, that was his city. I came in. He embraced me when he came to the team. He just
totally self-made. Like nobody saw him coming. I mean, what he became and how terrific I mean, what he became in New York City. Just the big, wide body. The two of you guys just putting everybody down,
we just need a little more shooting.
Well, I mean, and I loved Starks too.
Yeah, just a little more.
What happened that night in Houston?
A little more shooting, but
I know.
What can you say?
I know, man, and it'd have been great to have you lift a championship. Yeah. So, all right, last one. So I'm not coming back as a fan until you come back.
Okay.
All right, we're sticking together.
Okay,
I know we just talked about Blues Brothers, but I'm not.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll
You
let
come
know.
back, I come back.
I'll let you know for sure.
All right, because
you get the news before anyone. I promise.
because you can tell him I'm serious about this.
Charles, you have no idea.
You will get the news.
You have no idea.
A lot of people are like, oh, go back and get the book. No, I can't give him that much credit. They ask you, are you talking about him in the book? I said about a half a page. You know, I can't give him no full page. He ain't worth a full page.
I'm serious,
Yeah,
man.
Charles, this man loses. He just, James Dolan sends him to a fit of rage.
I grew up in Madison Square Garden.
Right,
the noise of the Garden gets me going. When the pandemic and the fans came back in and I heard what the Garden sounded like, I'm like, that's the noise. That's the stuff.
There.
Okay, and that's what I love. And so, and I see Julius Randle, who I respect. Oh, it's weird seeing him in Bernard King's number, but just like seeing him do his thing and RJ Barrett, and I do like the coach. I get into it and I think of you and I'm like, I can't do it.
Why he won't retire Bernard King number? He's in the Hall of Fame. What are you waiting on?
I don't know, because that's my guy.
He's a Hall of Fame.
Bernard King is one of the greatest players ever.
Yes.
And it was a damn shame, although it was his knee injury that got the Knicks high enough that they could get that they had.
Right.
You know, the shot at Patrick.
Right.
But the fact that Bernard and Patrick played with each other just as passing ships is one of my...
Yeah, he should retire Bernard number. But one time, I guess when Melo was there, something happened and Bernard posted something. He made Bernard take it down off his Twitter account.
What the hell? All right. I'm not coming back
That's
till you come back. Okay?
Okay.
All right. The two of us.
All right.
All right. The two of us together.
Okay,
all right, there we go. Charles Oakley is going to let me know. The Last Enforcer with Frank Isola, where all books can be acquired. Charles Oakley right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.